Okay, once again, back with another episode of a Nerds podcast, and today I have a really awesome wrestler in front of me. Well, not in front of me, but Oblivion Alvarez. Is that how you pronounce your name? Pretty good. I really appreciate you doing this for me. Very grateful.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on here.
All good. Now, my podcast is called a Nerds Podcast. It basically consists of pro wrestling, video games, cartoons, comic books, anything nerds would like. So I'm always grateful to have anyone who's, nice enough to come on this podcast and let me interview them. So, I'm always grateful.
Yeah. I'm always willing to come on podcasts. Anybody asks me to come on the podcast, I'm down because that's how I do it. I don't do like other people. Sometimes people are like so stuck up, but Oblivion is not like that. Cool.
Oh, good. Now, were you a fan as a kid of professional wrestling?
I've been a fan since probably since I remember. Since I started to remember, I've always loved wrestling since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I used to start wrestling every single day. I would try to watch it every single week. Mostly Mexican wrestling, like AAA and CMLL. I really didn't get to watch a lot of WWE because I grew up in a poor environment.
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
I didn't have access to cable and stuff.
Okay.
And the time I would watch WWE would be at like a friend's house or some other family member that had cable.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I started liking wrestling.
Now, who?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say, who stood out as a kid that like that caught your eye?
To be honest, I always liked when it comes to, like, for example, from WWE, I always liked Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
I don't know. I always thought he was awesome doing all those high-flying moves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always something about him that I enjoyed so much. I guess he's so entertaining to watch.
Okay.
I can't do the same moves he does. I wish I could, but that's one person.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. Now, when you were in school, did you do any sports or whatnot? Did you do anything that was?
Honestly, I was never really a jock to say.
Okay, that's all good.
The only time I ever got involved in a sport was my freshman year. I went into baseball.
Okay.
Only for freshman year. After that, I dropped out of the baseball team. I just decided, I really don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I still like baseball, but that's not what I was really looking for.
I got you. I feel you. Now, how did you get into what field how did you get into wrestling? Like, was he in camps near you, or how did it happen?
Well, how it happened is that my grandfather used to be a wrestler back in his day.
Oh, that's nice.
And he would always tell us, he always tell me and my cousins stories about his wrestling matches and stuff.
Wow.
And I always liked to listen to the stories. I used to like pretend wrestle with him and stuff.
Okay.
He would show me like headlocks and stuff. It was all fun. And all my life, I ever wanted to attend a wrestling school, but unfortunately, I could never because I was in poverty at that time.
I understand.
Couldn't really afford it.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, until just recently, like 2019, I started training in 2018.
Okay.
Stop. I finally made my debut in 2019.
Oh, okay, that's all right. I like that. That's pretty cool. Now, I always ask people the same question, and they never get tired of asking this question because it's a cool question regardless. Like, what was it like the first time you did your first bump?
Oh, sorry, what?
Like your first bump, the first like when you got in the ring and you trained and they told you to take a bump or whatever. I don't know how you would phrase it, but backdrop or whatever you call it.
Oh, okay. Um, well, I took my first one, like, when my, oh, sorry, just having,
It's okay.
um, um, can you rephrase that real quick? Sorry.
It's all good. Like a bump when I first a bump is like when you fall back and you brace yourself, we hit the mat. It's like when you sell, when you like someone was to clothesline you and you take you fall back and you hit the mat. I always call it,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I didn't know how to phrase that because I didn't know if you knew what I was referring to.
Yeah, the first time I ever took something like that, I was really, really scared. I had never done it before, but professor was like, no, you got to learn to take all these stuff because it gets real in there.
Hmm.
It gets real in there. You got to learn how to take a fall because if not, you're gonna mess your back. You're gonna
Yeah.
hurt yourself and stuff. And first time I ever took a bump, I I got the wind knocked out of me.
I bet.
I just breathed for like for like a full minute. I was
Mm.
just laying on the floor. It was like I couldn't catch my breath, so I had to wait for a few minutes.
Yeah, I bet.
And
I feel you. I understand. Because I
yeah,
tried my attempt at it once a long time ago. I was really young. I was like in my 20s. Not really young. I was in my 20s. And there was a gym right down from where I lived. And I got in the ring, and they said, man, are you ready? You got to take your bump. You know what the bump is? You got to go back, flat back. And as soon as I hit that mat, I knew I was not built for this. I said, this hurts way too much. I can't do this. So I give
yeah,
much props to anyone who can get in that ring and commit to it.
yeah. But after that, I managed to get used to the bumps and stuff.
Hmm.
It took like a while for me to get used to it.
Hmm.
So you can actually the way my professor taught me is like I really appreciate the way he taught me because like he really knows how to take a fall and stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's mostly like I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to take a bump. That whoever is in the business now,
Hmm.
and they know it's not easy at first, but once they get used to it, it's like no problem. I always fall on my back, try to catch myself with my extend my arms
Hmm.
sideways and get your chin as close as you can to your chest. Take that bump.
Okay.
Otherwise, be in a world of pain.
Oh yeah, definitely. There ain't no trampoline right there. That hurts.
Oh
So
no, absolutely.
now, where you're from? Is AAA near where you from?
No, independent.
Independent. Okay, that's cool. I was just curious. What is the name of your promotion that you normally vacate? The ones you hone your craft in.
Well, right now I'm gonna start working for Lucha League here in El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
They got me to come through. They contacted me like a month ago.
All
They
right.
wanted me to come by and wrestle with them, and we're having an event on March 13th. We're starting to prepare for that, and
Okay.
we're expecting a lot of crowd for that.
That's pretty awesome.
We're still gonna follow regulations.
Yeah.
Social distancing, mask wearing.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
that's a show that I'm really looking forward to because it's my first like super serious show.
Okay, it's all right. Do you think I could?
Yeah.
How do you think it'll be televised or any way I could be able to watch it or something?
To be honest, I have no idea. I believe they might record some of it,
Okay.
but if anything, we could probably find it on Facebook.
Okay, well, that's cool. Well, I was like, I can check it out. Um, Do you consider yourself a cruiserweight or a luchador or your style of wrestling? What do you consider your style of wrestling right now, if you have one?
Well, I am currently 230 pounds, so I really don't consider myself a cruiserweight.
No, I guess not.
And my own style of wrestling, I don't know. I'd say maybe chain wrestling.
Okay.
And I think mostly I've been trying to focus more on chain wrestling.
Okay.
Because that's what my professor taught me.
Okay.
And it's one of the things I know, but I also trying to learn new things so I can start putting a lot of stuff together in combination with chain wrestling. That way I can have an extended moveset so I can not always the same thing. Like people usually will start getting bored chain wrestling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like people wanna see new things. They call it evolve.
Okay.
But if I can adapt, then I will.
Okay. Will you? How is your promo skill? How would you rate your promo skills right now? If you get a chance to do any, how would you rate them?
From 1 to 10, I'd say about maybe 7.
That's pretty good. 7's pretty good. Now, it's going to sound like a stupid question, but I don't mean to come off as stupid. It's just I'm just naive. But like when you do your promos, do you do them in Spanish or do them in English?
If I have to, I would do both.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Lucha League, for my match on March 13th, they had me do it in English because they're expecting a lot of the company is expecting a lot of American wrestling fans.
Mm-hmm.
But usually here in El Paso it's boarding town, so
yeah.
could be like a lot of Spanish people, but no, they want the English so we attract more than just the Hispanic public here.
I got you.
But all the arenas around here in El Paso, they always fill up like the same people. They're usually a Hispanic public.
Mm-hmm.
But now these guys, they wanna cater to every single person out there.
Okay. What is usually the atmosphere when you get a chance to wrestle? If you get a chance to wrestle, what is the atmosphere? How is like the crowds? Because I know at least for AAA, it's different to me than it probably would be like WWE for more, for lack of description of it or something like that. How is the audience there? How do they react to your matches or anyone's matches in your promotion?
Well, to be honest, that day for my first match, which was December 2019.
Mm-hmm.
We had a show for my promoter, which is one of my promoters that was at that time El Padrino Promotion.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't really a lot of crowd. It's sad to say, but like me and my opponent went up in the first match, so we had to try to fire up people. But
okay,
I don't know. The crowd, to be honest, they were kind of dead. They were.
It's all good. Yeah.
And also because we were pretty much new, so.
Yeah, it's all good.
That happens.
Yeah, it'll come. It's all to me. It's like baby steps. It's not like you're gonna have moments where it's probably not as hypeable, but it is what it is. You're out there and you're committing to what you do and what you want to do. So, the crowds will come eventually. They'll come.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get my name out there because I gotta get one back. So cheering for Oblivion. Also, that's what I'm looking forward to for the this new business that I'm going to Lucha League. I'm trying to get my name out there, maybe get some more fans. I'm trying to make some noise. So,
Okay. You say you'll try to make if have you tried to do any auditions in any fields of movies? Have you tried to do anything yet?
no, I haven't thought about it.
Okay. But do you have any opportunities out there that would offer anything that would you would find interesting?
In terms of wrestling, you mean?
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm saying I thought you said you wanted to do movies as well. I might have misunderstood you.
What's funny? I thought about that a few times, but I'm a terrible actor. I don't think I'd be that good at doing.
No, I beg to differ. It's a lot of crappy actors out there who has very big roles in movies. I'd say if you're a wrestler and you can portray a character, if you hone your character, you can portray someone on stage, on screen or stage. Because there are some straight up garbage actors out there who have big roles in movies, and I guarantee you're probably a better actor than they are.
Yeah, but I mean, in the whole acting thing, I don't think that would be my thing.
Okay.
I think I'm ready to stick to wrestling.
That's cool. That's all good. Wrestling is a good craft. It's very important. It's one of the things that we need more of. We need more promotions out there that can grow and to be besides WWE and there's Impact, and then there's what's the name, AEW now, and there's some other promotions out there that MLW. There's out there. We need as many as we can get to have places for wrestlers can hone their craft. So it's very important. So much props to your promotion. I hope it does amazing.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and what are you watching outside of your promotion now? Is there anything that you like to watch, like other wrestling promotions that are pretty cool you'd like to check out?
I don't. I really don't look at any other kind of business, other promotions or anything.
That's all good.
I really don't know why. I just can't really get into any other promotions. I try to watch other wrestlers wrestle, but the other thing I tend to do when I do that is just I don't know. My professor always says that this kind of mentality, sometimes it can happen that you get the mentality to criticize, but the way what I'm trying to say is that when you look at other people, you oh, they're not doing this, or they're not doing that. Yeah. Sometimes it can get like that and stuff. Yeah. So I just tend to not watch professional wrestling like AEW, WWE, or other promotions. Okay. I just try to focus on what I'm working on.
That's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's cool. It's like you got to hone your craft. And sometimes maybe things will take away from it. So I understand. I feel you. It's pretty cool. Now, anyone, I'm not saying anyone necessarily big time, but have you got to wrestle with that you really enjoyed wrestling with so far?
I enjoy wrestling with I haven't really been with any I haven't been able to wrestle any high tier wrestlers yet, but that's something I'm looking forward to do. Well, a few people that I've wrestled have been pretty chill and stuff. But my next upcoming opponent, I think he's taking it a little too serious. He's really trying to, I think he really hates me or something. He's really trying to hype the show.
Okay.
He wants to kick my butt.
Okay.
And I just thought, I'm ready. I'm ready. This should be good. I've never wrestled you before, but it could be a new experience.
Okay, that's cool. Man, the picture you sent me, those are pretty cool pictures of your mask. I like that. It is awesome. You remind me of Pentagon Dark in a way.
Oh, man. No problem.
That's
I usually really don't like taking pictures because I just, what's it called? The reason I don't like taking a lot of pictures is because
I understand.
I don't like applying the and stuff.
I'm the same way.
I'm not gonna take pictures without the makeup, and then I think about putting on the makeup, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So I just take them without it. I don't know. It's just like it's not part of the character not to have makeup on, at least for me.
I got you. You know, that's a lot of people don't like to show the person behind, but I respect that because like, you know, for the longest time, like what was it, Rey Mysterio? I never knew what he looked like for the longest time, and he used to keep his mask on 24/7. Even in the like you know airports, people wouldn't see what he looked like. So,
True.
and even though he took his mask off, he still looks like a little kid. And that's a grown man now, and he probably close to the same age, but he looked a little kid when I saw him without his makeup. I said, man, he's like 12 or something.
Oh yeah.
Now, do you have a philosophy yet in wrestling? I know it's a weird question, but do you have anything which you would consider a philosophy in wrestling?
Philosophies that were always taught. They were always like, what's the word I'm looking for? Taught to me was that, like, always be humble, like, and that's something that in this business, that's something that is really lacking. Sometimes people aren't really humble enough.
Yeah.
And that's important for wrestling because it's your first basic attitude towards wrestling. You always gotta be humble and stuff. You always gotta be respectful of your fellow wrestlers and stuff.
Yeah, most definitely.
Also, my other philosophy that I have is that you know when people go out there to see you and stuff, always support your local talents.
Definitely.
Like, you know,
Definitely.
if you're like go to your local shows and stuff, like showing up in your city, you know, always support your local talent because they're important too. They're much more important than any wrestler that's high up there with WWE, AEW, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's always local wrestlers trying to push themselves out there, and people that go watch the shows, they can make it happen.
Yeah.
They can, you know, go admire someone. If someone goes to watch me wrestle, and I like that, you know. It feels great to have someone like following you around in every single promotion you go to.
Mm.
They're there for you, not for the promotion. They're there to see you. So always support your local talent, and yeah, follow them everywhere.
That's cool. That's all right, man. I like that. Hey, you said your grandfather wrestled. Did he ever tell you where he wrestled for, or do you remember any stories he would talk about when he did wrestle?
He was wrestling down in Mexico, like back in the, I think he said probably like back in the '60s.
Okay.
And he would always go around touring the northern part of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be called various names. He always like to be called La Furia, which means like fury.
Okay.
He had different characters and stuff. He had a lot of contacts up there in Mexico, down there in Mexico with other and he never really went like extremely national to the point where he would be recognized just anywhere.
Okay.
He was more of the local kind of guy, but he still traveled around Mexico. Funny story is that's how he met my grandmother.
Okay. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, I like, this is going to be like the last question really I have because, once again, I appreciate you doing this and like, I'd like to have you back again sometime later and we just talk about wrestling. Just talk wrestling, just regular conversation about wrestling. But, I'm going to say this is like a fantasy question. So let's say 10 years down the line and whatever promotion you are, it doesn't matter. I hope your promotion grows and be amazing, wonderful, awesome promotion. But say it's hypothetically, if you had a choice, living or dead, doesn't matter. This is a fantasy question. Who would you like to be in the ring with? This is fantasy, so you can just name anybody. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's a very interesting question. It never even crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to pick someone to share the ring with, it would have to be definitely Jeff Hardy.
Nice. I think that'd be an awesome match. I'd see it. I'd like to see your awesome entrance.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to keep up with him and stuff, but I mean, if I could wrestle him, then I definitely would.
Okay, cool, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, man, do you have anything you want to promote? Because I know you said one match. Do you have anything else you want to promote that's coming out soon?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, for anybody listening, if you live in El Paso, Texas, mark your calendar for March 13th, Saturday, March 13th, 6 p.m. Lucha League. That's Lucha League. We gotta have a big event coming up, and all local talent is gonna be there. We're trying to grow because we got a lot catching up to do and stuff with the people. And so if you're out there in El Paso, be sure to check us out. It's out on Facebook, Lucha League _League.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to check us out. Also, go find me on Facebook as Oblivion Alvarez. And yep.
All right, man. That's awesome, man. I like it, man. And thank you again, man. And I hope everything is awesome. I hope everything works out amazing because you're a really cool dude. And thank you again, man. Hopefully I get to talk to you soon. All right, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on here.
All right, man. I'll see you later.
All right, thank you.
All right. Once again, that was Oblivion Alvarez. It was a really cool wrestler that was nice enough to give me a chance to interview him. And hopefully, y'all check him out soon. If anyone's in that area, y'all need to check him out in his promotion. So once again, this is another signing out on this episode of a Nerds Podcast. And hopefully, something will come up soon where I get to talk to another cool person. But from now on, I'm out.